A silent threat, the stars shimmered silently over a war-torn galaxy. The Empire had ruled for centuries, crushing resistance with massive fleets and endless resources. Their enemies, scattered and weak, stood little chance. Earth was among those who had refused to kneel, but the Empire laughed. Humans were new to the galactic stage. Their colonies were few, their ships outdated. The Empire didn't worry, but Earth had a secret. In a hidden shipyard beneath Saturn's icy rings, something massive had been built. Codenamed Thunderlight, it was Earth's first and only supercarrier. No alien sensors had ever spotted it. No Empire fleet had come close. For years it remained silent, cloaked, and waiting for the right time. Commander Dale stood on the bridge of a small Earth scout ship named Star Whisper. He wasn't part of any major fleet. His job was to observe the Empire's movements and report back. But today, what he saw made his hands freeze on the console. The Empire's 9th fleet, 50 warships strong, was closing in on Earth's last defense base on Mars. They weren't bluffing. This time, they would finish the job. He sent a tight beam signal to Earth. They are moving in. Mars won't last an hour. Back on Earth, deep within the Defense Council's underground room, the warning lit up in red. General Royce looked at the flashing screen. "It's time," he said quietly. "Activate Thunderlight." Nobody said a word. They all knew what that meant. Within minutes, the order reached the hidden base near Saturn. Inside the massive hangars of Thunderlight, thousands of crew members snapped into action. Engines the size of towers rumbled to life. Railguns lined the ship's flanks. Small fighters were powered up and loaded, and in the command seat of the supercarrier sat a woman named Myra. Calm, focused, and with years of silence behind her. She had trained in secret for this day. The carrier slipped out of Saturn's shadow. Still cloaked, moving faster than any known Empire ship. No one had ever seen Thunderlight in action. No one even knew it existed, except for the highest ranks on Earth. Back near Mars, the Empire's ships began firing on the defense base. Red streaks of plasma hit the shields. Towers on Mars cracked. Human soldiers fought bravely, but they were losing. Suddenly, without warning, the stars near Saturn twisted. A ripple tore through space. Then the Thunderlight appeared. The Empire ships froze. It was massive, larger than anything they had seen. Long and dark like a shadow made of steel. Its weapons glowed blue. Its hull bore no markings. But it wasn't hiding anymore. Who dares interrupt the Empire's final strike? One of the enemy captains shouted across comms. Myra's voice replied, "Earth does." And then the war truly began. The first strike, the supercarrier Thunderlight hovered between Mars and Saturn, its dark hull glowing softly under the system's sunlight. Inside, crew members moved with precision, their faces calm but focused. This was not just a warship, it was Earth's final card. And it had been built for this exact moment. Commander Myra leaned forward in her chair, eyes on the tactical screen. "All railguns online." "Online and locked," replied her weapons officer. The Empire fleet, still stunned, tried to reform their lines. 50 ships, bristling with firepower, turned their weapons toward the unknown vessel. Their scanners struggled to identify it. "It didn't match any known human or alien design. It's a trick," said an Empire admiral through the command channel. "Destroy it." 12 cruisers opened fire. Beams of red plasma shot toward the Thunderlight, fast and deadly, but Myra was ready. "Deploy the prism shield." In a flash, a shimmering blue barrier surrounded the supercarrier. The plasma beams hit it, and scattered. Like water hitting stone. Some shots curved back, hitting the Empire's own ships. Fire railguns. Row 1. A deep rumble echoed across the ship as the front guns fired. KIAK. 6 enemy cruisers vanished in a blink. Their hulls didn't explode, they just folded inward, torn by massive kinetic slugs moving at impossible speeds. Each round had been forged from dense earth metals, pushed by gravity drives that could punch holes through moons. The Empire screamed, their fleet scrambled, but Thunderlight wasn't done. "Launch the hounds," Myra said softly, beneath the carrier. Dozens of sleek black fighters shot out, Earth's new stealth drones, armed with fusion lancers. They didn't need pilots. They hunted by heat, speed, and fear. And in seconds, they were inside the Empire fleet, carving paths through metal and fire. On Mars, soldiers watched from their bunkers. What they saw didn't look real. It was like A ghost ship had entered the battlefield and flipped the tide. The sky, once full of red enemy ships, now burned with explosions. Is that one of ours? Whispered a Marine captain. No idea, his comrade replied. But it's killing them all. The Empire admiral tried to retreat. All ships warped to fallback point. But the Thunderlight had one more gift. EMP net, Myra ordered. A pulse of blue light expanded from the ship's core. It didn't damage anything, but it fried every warp engine within range. The Empire was trapped. Their ships tried to turn, to flee, to fire, but the drones tore them apart. Railguns followed. Lasers split hulls. Some crews ejected, only to be caught in the wake of another explosion. Within 9 minutes, the 9th Fleet, the Empire's pride, was gone. Only one small frigate survived, its engines barely working. It limped into deep space, trying to send a message back to command. Thunderlight let it go. They'll need to know, Myra said. Let them feel the fear. Back in the Empire's central system, the High Council was in session when the message arrived. The room went silent. The Admiral's voice was shaky, distorted by static. Unknown human ship, massive, unstoppable. The fleet is gone. It wiped us out. It knew everything. The signal cut off. The lead Emperor stood slowly. His face was pale. What did he say? Another counselor whispered. He said, humans built something. A monster. The Emperor stared at the hologram showing Earth system. He clenched his fists. We thought Earth was weak. No one answered. The war had just changed, and the Empire wasn't ready. Asterisk. The message from Earth. A day after the battle near Mars, silence fell across the Empire's outer territories. Spaceports shut down. Patrol ships paused. No one spoke openly of what had happened. But everyone felt it. Something terrifying had entered the war. The Empire's communication channels were flooded with rumors. A ghost ship. A hidden weapon. A human trick. But deep inside Earth's Defense Council, there was no confusion. The plan had worked. The Thunderlight had revealed itself not just to save Mars, but to send a warning. In a secure chamber underground, leaders of Earth's last alliance sat around a table. Holo screens showed dozens of systems, most marked red. Humanity was still outnumbered. But now, they had the galaxy's attention. One of the advisors spoke. We need to speak. Loud and clear. Not just to the Empire, but to everyone else watching. General Royce nodded. The message is ready. We broadcast in 1 hour. On every open frequency in the known galaxy, a symbol appeared, a burning blue star, Earth's emblem of resistance. Then Myra's voice echoed, this is Commander Myra of the Thunderlight. You saw what we did. And you don't know what else we've built. Earth never wanted war. But your Empire brought it to our doors. You thought we were too weak. You thought we wouldn't fight back. The camera shifted. Behind Myra stood the towering Supercarrier command bridge. Screens flickered with enemy losses. She continued, we will not invade. We will not chase. But if you come again, we will erase you. The message ended. In a small alien mining station. On the edge of Empire space, workers gathered around a flickering screen. No one spoke. One of them, an old mechanic with 4 arms, turned slowly. That wasn't a bluff. Did you see those ships? Did you see her eyes? Another nodded. That wasn't war. That was a warning. Inside the Empire's royal palace, the Emperor met with his top military leaders. Panic was setting in. We lost the 9th Fleet in minutes, one commander said. We've never seen a ship like that. They have tech we didn't know existed. The Emperor slammed his fist on the table. Then find out where they built it. How they hid it. And destroy it. Another general shook his head. If they have won, they might have more. That thought chilled the room. The Empire had ruled for so long through fear. But now, for the first time, they were afraid, and Earth had done that with one ship. Back aboard the Thunderlight, Myra walked through the silent corridors. Her crew worked quietly, repairing minor damage, refueling drones, restocking ammunition. But she could feel it too. Something had shifted. A young officer approached. Multiple colonies have just sent messages. They want Earth's protection now. Some even want to break from the Empire. Myra paused. They are not stupid. They saw what we can do. She walked to a large window, looking out at the stars. The galaxy isn't ready for us. But we are here now. Meanwhile, in deep space, the surviving Empire frigate finally limped into a hidden military station. The captain, wounded and shaking, was brought into a dark chamber where shadowy figures watched behind glowing visors. Point 1 stepped forward. Report. The captain fell to his knees. It wasn't a weapon. It was a nightmare. It moved like nothing I've ever seen. It predicted our moves. It broke the laws of physics. The figure looked down. Earth built that. Then we have only one option. What is it? The captain asked. Unleash the Revenant Protocol. The captain's eyes widened, but that was banned. Even by the Emperor. Not anymore, the shadow replied. Earth brought the fire. We will answer it with darkness. Asterisk the Revenant Protocol. The Revenant Station was not listed on any maps. It drifted near a dead star, its surface hidden behind thick radiation clouds. No civilian knew it existed. Even most of the Empire's own forces thought it was just a myth. Inside the station, machines that had been silent for centuries began to hum. Massive vault doors opened, releasing clouds of frost. Rows of dark, humanoid figures stood in place, silent. Armored, motionless. These were the Revenants, ancient weapons from the Empire's first wars. Warriors enhanced with cybernetics and fear suppressors. They felt no pain. No hesitation. Only one command, destroy. A signal flashed through the station, target, Earth. Back aboard the Thunderlight, Myra reviewed reports from allied colonies. Dozens of worlds were now turning against the Empire, inspired by the victory at Mars. Some were even sending resources and volunteers to Earth's fleet. Her communications officer approached. We just got intel from a rebel cell near the core systems. They picked up a strange movement. Empire ships, old, cold models, reactivating. Deep inside the burn zone of the Veil Star. Myra frowned. That's dead space. Why would they? Then her eyes narrowed. No. They wouldn't. She turned to her officers. Sound red alert. Battle posture level 3. Prepare for a counter-strike. This isn't over. For across the stars, the Empire's inner council watched as the Revenant fleet assembled. They'll expect a standard fleet, one said. But this isn't standard. These units are unstable, another warned. They were locked away for a reason. We no longer care about safety, said the Emperor coldly. We care about victory. Send them to Earth. Burn the humans to ash. And so the Dark Fleet moved, over 100 warships filled with cybernetic soldiers and ancient weapons. They didn't send warnings. They didn't send messages, they simply vanished into hyperspace, headed straight for Earth. Onboard Thunderlight, the ship now patrolled above the moon, acting as Earth's shield. Myra stood in the strategy room with her top crew. What's the estimate on enemy movement? The officer replied, if their ships jumped from the Veil Star, they'll be here in less than 10 hours. Myra tapped the table. This fleet isn't normal. They are sending something from the old war archives. Something forbidden. Her second-in-command looked concerned. Should we retreat? Myra shook her head. No. Earth stands. We make our ground here. Prepare full defenses. Wake the backup AI and arm the sun cannon. As hours passed, Earth's orbital stations powered up. Civilian ships fled. Mars and Luna were placed on high alert. The rest of Earth's fleet was recalled. The sky above Earth was soon filled with lines of ships, defense platforms, and one massive shadow in the center, Thunderlight. Then it began. Tears in space opened just outside Earth's gravity well. One after another, Black Empire ships poured out, darker than night, engines roaring without flame. Their hulls showed scars from ancient battles, and inside them, the Revenants moved. No words. No warnings, just war. The first shots came fast, laser beams ripped through the void, hitting Earth's orbital shields. Drones were deployed immediately. Earth's outer stations returned fire, but the Revenant ships moved like predators, fast, sharp, unrelenting. Thunderlight led the charge, all batteries, open fire. Myra ordered, dozens of railguns lit up the void. Blue energy beams pierced enemy ships. EMP pulses scrambled Revenant systems, but they kept coming. One Revenant boarding pod broke through a station's defenses. It hit the outer hull and released its troops. The cyborgs moved silently, cutting through walls and soldiers like shadows of death. They are not just machines, an officer whispered. They are monsters. Back on the Thunderlight Bridge, Myra watched as her tactical screen filled with red marks. Her voice stayed calm. Hold the line. These things were made for terror. But they bleed like anyone else. Suddenly, a new signal appeared, deep in Earth's orbit. A massive dark ship, bigger than any of the others. 1 The size of Thunderlight, the Revenant command vessel. Myra stared at it. So, they brought a king to face us. She turned to a weapons team. Then let's teach them how Earth greets kings. Asterisk. Clash of Titans. The Revenant command ship floated above Earth like a black sun, massive and silent. Its surface pulsed with red lights, and from its underside, long armored claws reached out into space like the limbs of a monster. On Thunderlight's bridge, Myra studied the readings. The ship was built for destruction. Its hull was layered with reactive armor, and its core pulsed with unknown energy, likely a forbidden power source from before the Empire's rise. It's targeting us, her tactical officer said. I'd be insulted if it didn't, Myra replied. Outside, Earth's defense fleet had formed a barrier, holding back the smaller Revenant vessels. Drones fought in deadly spirals, human ships maneuvered with speed and precision, and Mars-based cannons launched massive plasma bursts into the sky. But nothing matched what was coming now. The command ship began charging its main cannon, a deep red beam forming at the front like a slow-building storm. Brace for impact. Myra shouted. A second later, the red beam fired. It slammed into Thunderlight's shields, flaring bright blue. The whole ship trembled. Lights flickered. Panels sparked, shields at 62%, someone called out. Myra gripped the armrest. Return fire. Full railgun volley. Fire the sun cannon. With a thunderous roar, Thunderlight answered. Massive kinetic slugs flew across space, smashing into the Revenant ship's armor. The sun cannon, a concentrated solar energy weapon, fired a golden beam directly into the enemy's core. The enemy ship staggered. The first hit scored deep into its side, the second cracked open its armor, the third, fired by Thunderlight's belly-mounted railgun, sent a chunk of the hull spinning into the void, but the Revenant ship fought back. Dozens of small drone pods detached and swarmed Thunderlight like hornets. They attached to the hull, drilling in, trying to find weak points. Breach alert. Deck 7, someone yelled. Deploy security drones, Myra ordered. And activate internal defenses. They are trying to cut inside. Inside the ship, Earth's defense systems kicked in. Auto turrets popped out of walls, drones hovered through corridors, and squads of Marines engaged the borders. The Revenants were fast, cold, and deadly. But they weren't invincible. In one corridor, a human soldier named Holt led his squad against 2 advancing cyborgs. Aim for the core, he shouted. A volley of gunfire hit the machine square in the chest. Sparks flew. It dropped. The other one roared and leapt, but a turret above blasted its head off before it landed. Thunderlight wasn't just a warship. It was a fortress. Outside, the battle reached its peak. The Revenant fleet had lost over half its ships, but they kept coming. Thunderlight's hull was scarred, but it still stood, and Myra. She never flinched, her eyes locked on the enemy's command ship. We can't keep playing defense. We need to end this. Now. Her strategy officer turned. What do you suggest? She pointed to the enemy ship's center. That glowing chamber, it's their core. That's what powers the whole thing. You want to destroy it? No, she said with a cold smile. I want to fly into it. The room went silent. You can't be serious, the officer began. Iron. Prep the Rams pair. We'll breach their core ourselves. Thunderlight's lower hangar began transforming. A hidden chamber opened, revealing a single longship, narrow, armored, and shaped like a blade. The Rams pair was a last resort weapon, designed to be launched directly into an enemy's core reactor. Myra stepped into the cockpit. I'll pilot it. The crew protested, but she silenced them. Earth needs leaders who bleed, not hide. Thunderlight shifted its position, aiming the Rams pair directly at the Revenant's heart. All other weapons went silent, and the battlefield paused. 4 A second, both sides watched, then Myra launched, the ram's pair ignited, tearing through space like a comet. The Revenant ship tried to stop it. Lasers and drones fired wildly. Thunderlight provided cover, shooting everything in its path. The ram's pair broke through the outer hull, then the inner wall, then into the glowing red chamber at the center. Inside, the core pulsed, alive with unstable power. Myra took a deep breath, aimed for the center, and whispered, "For Earth." She hit the override. The ram's pair exploded. A white flash lit up the stars, then silence. The Revenant command ship cracked, then tore apart in 1,000 directions. Thunderlight held position, shielding Earth from the debris. Everyone waited. Then, a signal crackled through. Myra's voice, "I made it out. Emergency pod deployed." "You didn't think I'd go down that easy, did you?" The crew roared with relief. After the blast, the white flash from the exploding Revenant command ship faded slowly. Pieces of burning metal and twisted limbs floated across Earth's upper orbit. The massive structure was gone, ripped apart from the inside. Thunderlight's shields absorbed the last of the shockwave. Alarms faded. Silence returned to the bridge, but only for a second. "She's alive," a voice shouted. "We've got her pod on sensors. She's drifting but intact." Thunderlight's hangar bay doors opened, and a recovery ship launched immediately. Within minutes, Myra's pod was pulled in, and the crew rushed to meet her. The pod's hatch opened. Myra stepped out slowly, helmet in hand, bruised but standing. The hangar crew saluted. Her second-in-command reached her with wide eyes. "You actually survived that?" Myra smiled weakly. "Of course. I told you Earth doesn't go down easy." Across Earth's military channels, cheers echoed. Soldiers on Mars raised their weapons and shouted to the sky. Defense operators clapped. Civilians wept with relief. The impossible had happened. Earth had stood its ground again, but the battle wasn't over. The Revenant fleet, seeing their command ship destroyed and their core signal lost, began to behave strangely. Without leadership, some ships turned on each other. Others went still. A few tried to flee. Inside Thunderlight, Myra returned to the bridge, still bruised but focused. "What are they doing?" she asked. Her tactical officer replied, "Some are shutting down. Others are retreating. A few have gone completely out of control. No command system to follow." Myra stared at the screen. "Then it's time to clean up the mess. Let's finish this." She raised her voice across the ship, "Target remaining enemy ships. No mercy." Thunderlight moved forward with the Earth fleet behind it. One by one, the Revenant ships were destroyed. Lasers burned holes through hulls, drones pierced engines. Railguns tore metal apart. In just 20 more minutes, it was done. Not a single Revenant vessel remained. The war above Earth was over. Later that day, Myra stood in Earth's High Council chamber. She wore a clean uniform now, with fresh bandages on her shoulder and a slight limp in her step. Representatives from Earth's allied colonies and a few alien diplomats watched in silence as she spoke. "You've seen what Earth can do," Myra said firmly. "But don't forget why we did it. We didn't strike first. We defended our people. And now the galaxy knows we won't be ignored." One alien ambassador, thin and gray-skinned, stood and bowed his head. "Earth has done what no other world could. You didn't just fight the Empire, you changed the rules." Another human official asked, "What now? Do we push forward? Take the war to them?" Myra shook her head. "No. Not yet. The Empire is shaken. Let that fear spread. Let them realize that Earth doesn't want conquest. We want peace, but not at the cost of our dignity." There was silence in the room, then slow, firm applause. Earth wasn't just a player in the galaxy anymore. It was a power, somewhere deep in Empire space, within a dark mountain fortress. The Emperor watched the battle footage on a massive screen. He didn't speak. Behind him, advisors waited nervously. Finally, he turned. "This was never about numbers," he muttered. "It was about belief. The humans believed they could beat us, and now so does everyone else." One of his generals stepped forward. "Should we strike again?" The Emperor shook his head slowly. "No. Not yet. They've wounded our pride. But we've wounded something worse, our illusion of control." He stared at the screen again, at the image of the Thunderlight, still floating above Earth, still untouchable. "They built a monster," he said. "But worse than that, they built hope. Back on Earth, as repairs continued and the stars quieted, Myra sat alone in her quarters. She looked out at the dark sky and the faint blue glow of the planet below. "We changed everything," she whispered. Her hand rested on the control tablet, and though her body ached and her mind was tired, she knew one thing: this was just the beginning. Echoes across the stars. 3 weeks passed. In those weeks, the galaxy changed. News of Earth's victory spread faster than any warship. Across trade routes and hidden channels, people spoke of the ship that broke the Empire's grip, Thunderlight. The name became a legend overnight. Small colonies under the Empire's flag began raising Earth's symbol beside their own. Others refused to send tribute to the throne. Rebellion sparked in corners of space that had been silent for years. The Empire tried to suppress it, but it was too late. They couldn't erase what everyone had seen. One human ship had turned an unstoppable fleet to dust. In orbit above Earth, Thunderlight floated in quiet glory. Its scars were being repaired, but its presence remained strong. From every part of the planet, people looked up at it and felt something they hadn't felt in a long time: pride. On board, Myra stood once more on the command bridge. The crew worked around her, focused, loyal, and ready. She knew this peace wouldn't last. The Empire was wounded, not dead, and wounded beasts were always the most dangerous. A soft chime sounded. A new message had arrived. Her communications officer turned to her. "It's from Haven 6. A neutral world near the border. They are asking for help. The Empire's warships are heading toward them." Myra's eyes narrowed. "Do they have defenses?" "Barely. They were peaceful traders." "If we don't act," Myra raised a hand, "we act." She looked around at her bridge crew. Thunderlight was built to defend Earth. But Earth is not just one world anymore. It's every world that stands for freedom. Her second-in-command smiled. "Coordinates locked. Engines ready." The ship turned slowly in space. Its massive frame glowed blue as its engines charged. "All ships, form up," Myra ordered. "We answer the call." As Thunderlight led a new fleet across the stars, signals echoed from every corner of the galaxy. Planets that once feared the Empire now spoke openly of hope. Alien leaders sent offers of alliance to Earth. Independent systems asked for protection, and across the darkness of space, the name Thunderlight became more than a warship. It became a symbol. In a hidden chamber of the Empire's central fortress, the Emperor stood alone. He watched the latest reports: uprisings, deserters, loyal fleets defecting to Earth's side. He closed his eyes and whispered, "We ruled for 1,000 years. But we never expected this. Not from them." His voice was bitter. "We called them soft, weak, fragile." He opened his eyes again, "But we were wrong." Meanwhile, on Haven 6, the skies turned red with warning as Empire ships approached. Civilians ran for shelter. Old defense systems powered up, creaking and slow. Then a shadow passed over the sky, massive, silent. A young child pointed up. "What's that?" His mother gasped, holding him tight. "It's them, the humans." Thunderlight broke through the clouds, flanked by Earth's new fleet. Its cannons glowed, its engines roared. The defenders of Haven 6 didn't fight alone. The battle lasted only 12 minutes. The Empire ships didn't stand a chance. One by one, they were torn apart. When it ended, Thunderlight sent a simple message to the people below: "You are not alone." Later that night, as Myra stood on the viewing deck, she watched the stars drift quietly. A voice came through her headset, an admiral from another allied system. "You've started something, Myra. The galaxy won't forget this." She smiled. "Let them remember. Let them know Earth was never weak. We were just patient." He chuckled. "And now? Now we lead." And so Earth's hidden supercarrier, the ship the Empire never saw coming, became the sword and shield of the free, not through conquest, but by standing tall. By answering the cry for help, and by proving, once and for all, that when Earth rises, the galaxy changes, forever.